All right. 6:04, you done, 6:04, August 5th, I'll be to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Merker. Here. Councilmember Silliman is reported absent. Councilmember Pinello is reported absent. Councilmember Lane.
Here.
Councilmember Conlon. Here. Councilmember Carpenter.
Here.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Present.
Councilmember Michaels.
Yeah.
Burger here.
Yeah, he said here.
Oh, sorry.
They've been all right, that's right. Fine.
Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Members of the floor, Jim Nichols. I didn't see it there, Jim. You're out first. Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and the council for allowing myself, Chief Guerrera, Police Commissioner Starr, Fire Chief Michael Catalano, to be the first vehicle to go down Main Street when it became two-way. We were in a I think it was a 64 Buick Wildcat provided by the commission. And certainly that was also my birthday. So, just a quick story, I left for Vietnam in April of 1968, Main Street was two-way. When I returned in April 1969, it was one-way. And I decided at that moment, I must pursue the indignity that has been done to Main Street. So, as you know, some of you know, I found a job with the Cortland Police Department. And it took me 40 years and 6 days there to try to get it changed. And before I left, I believe it was Mayor Tobin that started to pursue two-way Main Street. So 15 more years and here we are. And I gotta say, I've heard nothing but positive remarks about it. It looks good, the traffic flows, people are catching on to the parking. Yes, we always have those naysayers, but it does look very professional. I think it's one of the nicest looking small town main streets in New York State. So thank you for what you've done. Now I gotta bring up a couple of issues. Parking. I'm a member of Rotary. We're the Noon Rotary. We met at the community for many years. And then because of issues, we moved over to the Elks Club at the Groton parking lot. So far, 4 of our members have received parking tickets. It's a little tricky parking over there. You have to know what you're doing. It's kind of limited on the number of 2-hour spots. So far, 4 have received parking tickets. I was talking with my friend who plays pitch at the YWCA on Friday mornings. They have now moved out to Court Lanes because a couple of their members got parking tickets. So somehow we have to address this, that these long-standing organizations, fraternal, social, we need to figure out how to accommodate them so we don't lose any more people to the downtown parking situation. My brother-in-law, who I do not like, I'm just kidding, of course, it's my humor. He drove in, he's from Florida, came up from Florida, drove in off of Westport Street, through the back of Brew, around the corner and parked in the middle of the VFW building. On each end of the building, it states what I think it's permit parking there. He did not see those signs. He got a parking ticket. So that's something we need to address, this parking problem. I think it needs to be more than just 2 hours. Brian Tobin's here. If we have a swim meeting, starts at 11 o'clock, and the regular meeting starts at 12 o'clock and goes to 1 o'clock. There's 2 hours right there. So you need to take a look at that. Either ask the officer to back off on Tuesdays. And we can work from there, because I know that we used to do that. My next situation is, please call it Ridgeview Avenue. It's off of 281. I believe it's in your ward. And the street is being really pummeled by heavy dump truck in excess of the 5-ton limit. It's up and down the street constantly. If you take a look at the manholes, they're starting to sink around there because of the pressure. So we need to get those signs up there that identify it as no more than 5 tons. And a speed limit. There's no speed limit posted on that part, on Ridgeview Avenue. Cortlandville started paving the Cortlandville section today, blacktopping it. And they're doing it from the end of the street out by St. Mary's Cemetery to the city line. So they're making a big improvement, and we hate to see it ground up by heavy dump truck traffic. The individual that's operating the dump truck lives on the street. And maybe somebody could convince him to come in off of Blue Creek, like Easy Eight, what's the farm company that Mike McMahon has? Out on
Easy Acres?
Easy Acres. They farm the fields behind us. And they come in off of Blue Creek to bring in their big tractors to work on those fields. So there is another opportunity for this individual to come in off that street. Ours is a residential neighborhood, like so many of us. It's a quiet neighborhood. A lot of nice homes, grandchildren living in the neighborhood. And I really appreciate it if we take a hard look and figure out how to stop this heavy truck traffic. And it isn't just this individuals. Throughout the rebuilding of Groton Avenue and the Main Street area, there were times when big heavy dump trucks were coming up there to, I guess, deposit dirt at the end of the street someplace. So that's my, and of course, we need that traffic light down at Wheeler Avenue.
Jim, is it more than one different dump truck?
What's
Are
that?
you seeing more than one?
Yes,
Dump truck?
at times.
Is it economy? Bring it
No.
up that way?
No. And that's interesting you bring that up.
GD that sent us.
Yeah, those
Take
those companies.
argument that works for them. Bringing a crowd now, spoilage up there.
And it's interesting you bring that up. Jim Craw, who works for the DPW, bought that land right off of Hillcrest. It had big dirt piles on it, and it was a mess. He was cleaning that up. And he's created a street that comes in off of 281 now. Up into his house, and there's another house that sits back there. So it's really looking impressive. What he's done. Thank you.
Thanks.
Is that a commercial outfit then that's working up there?
Cortlandville Highway Department. It's paving. Is that what you're asking?
No, the dump truck, the owners of the dump truck are,
I guess he's commercial. He's his own person, has his own
Well, it's agricultural, so they don't have to follow any rules. Is that
dirt.
near, the DMV, they call?
But if you look at the entrances to the city of Portland along 281, they all state 5-ton limit, speed limit, and hours restricted.
okay, yep,
Thank you.
Mike Dexter.
It's not very often I get a chance to follow my buddy, Chief Nichols, stand here. When he said he's heard no complaints, he forgot a couple of conversations we've had recently. You said you had no complaints on Main Street. They're not big complaints, but they're just kind of little stuff, so I have to correct him about him saying that there were no complaints. A couple other things. Last time I was here, we talked about the noise from the bicycles, the e-bicycles. It appears that something's being done. I did read, and there's a new law being written, which is a good thing. I did see my name on Facebook as somebody who was here who said something about the noise. I also commented to the mayor that there was an accident up in Syracuse where somebody on an e-bike or motor scooter got hit. I don't know what the result was, but they're gonna continue to be a problem unless there's laws against them riding on sidewalks the wrong way in the street. If they ride too fast, there are laws on the books in New York State that one of them says you can't go more than 30 miles an hour or something like that on the sidewalk. Well, I hope that it's gonna be less than that when the law is finally passed, because 30 miles an hour on a sidewalk is pretty fast. Second thing being about Main Street, I can give you a positive comment about Main Street is, last time I was here, I talked about the intersection of Church Street and Port Watson. You can sit there for a long time before you get through that light. Well, I've now realized that if I go south on Main Street now, the lights are all on a trip. I can make it down Main Street and the lights are gonna change fairly quickly. That's not gonna go through the whole cycle. Also, the walk lights are synchronized, so if you're going across the street, you can turn right on red, which we discussed, that you need a sign on the intersections that say you can turn right on red, or there's, because people that have a walk light have to look at the car that's turning right to them. Obviously, the pedestrian has the right of way, but if he gets hit and he's killed, it's not gonna help him too much if he had the right of way and somebody runs over. So the intersection of Port Watson, I see, is going to be addressed by the DOT. There's 12 lights in the city that are gonna be addressed by the DOT. They obviously are very, very old lights. They need to be updated. So that you don't sit there when nobody's going either east or west on Port Watson Street. So the fact that Main Street is now synchronized driving down Main Street, I can make it home quicker going down Main Street than I can going down Church Street. And I have trees I won't mention too much, except Main Street is looking much, much, much better since the trees have been replaced. The trees that they planted are okay. This isn't a negative thing, but I think you're gonna have some people talking about the smell from the mulch that was put down. Maybe that'll go away after a while, but if you're sitting real close to the mulch, it has an odor to it that is kind of offensive if you're very close to it, but I've dealt with mulch, so sometimes that's what you have to deal with mulch when you put it down, is the smell that's coming from it. So overall, Main Street's good, the trees are looking better. One other thing, which I gave to the mayor the other day about Tompkins Street, I thought that somebody maybe had already got a hold of him about the condition of the flags on Tompkins Street that were put up. I'm guessing some of those flags may go back to the time of when we did Main Street, and I was very involved with the flags on Main Street. The flags on Tompkins Street deteriorated very, very quickly, especially since they were so old. The mayor has told me that they're taking down and they have new flags being ordered. As a veteran, I was a little offended as the condition of the flags that were on Tompkins Street. Some of them were stuck on the poles. They do have unfurlers so that they don't wrap up. But if we're gonna have new flags on Main Street, that's a definite positive, especially for the veterans who drive up and down. One other little thing is a lot of towns have pictures of veterans on their flags, on their light poles. I've seen them in a lot of the small towns where they get pictures of veterans from recent wars, from old wars, and they put a picture of a veteran with his time of service on the poles. And I know we're gonna be putting flags or whatever, there's places to put flags, but having a picture of a veteran on a pole, I think would be very, very beneficial to the community, and I know the veterans would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a comment on your e-bikes, Mike.
Pardon?
As I mentioned at the last meeting regarding e-bike legislation, it's something I brought before council and several months ago. We're voting on that tonight. It's very well put together. Once you get a chance to look at it. And hopefully this will deter individuals that are violating this law.
I just know there's a lot of versions, state, county, federal. A lot of people have different laws about e-bikes, so you can write one here, and I hope it's sufficient for the city of Portland, but there's a lot of different laws out there that say a lot of different stuff about what you can do on electric bikes, how fast they can go, how big. the motor
I'm
can
sure
be.
Randolph did his due diligence in researching this.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chu.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have comments about agenda item number 2 on loitering and agenda number 3. Agenda item number 2 would outlaw loitering for the purpose of illegal activities. How is anybody to know what anyone else is about to do? This seems like a way to outlaw being unhoused. If the unhoused had a better place to go, they wouldn't loiter in public spaces. As for the possession and use of alcohol and drugs, disturbing the peace, obstructing traffic, or public urination, They're all problems that can come from being unhoused. I know I can get testy when I don't eat on time. I'm sure I would be a public nuisance if I had no place to sleep. We all want to improve the quality of life in the city, but making the city unwelcoming for the unhoused is not the answer. Even those of us who aren't churchgoers know the right answer to the question, am I my brother's keeper? Pam Poulin and Daniel Wimbish have tried to help the unhoused. I wish I had the courage they have. Unfortunately, they've often been criticized for trying to help the unhoused and reminding the rest of us of their needs and their humanity. Cortland won't flourish again until everyone's talents are fully utilized. Some will always be more favored than others, but everyone should have a safe place to stay, plus food and clothing to survive and contribute. Please don't approve item number 2. Agenda item number 3 would add regulations on gas, electric, and human-powered bicycles that apply to safety, areas not open to bicycles, batteries, age and helmet requirements, registration and penalties. I looked up and I found chapter 87 of the city code, which is long and extensive and already deals with bicycles and addresses most of these issues. To avoid duplication and inconsistencies, it would seem to be the appropriate place to put any additional rules. It was last amended in 1973. It even mentions velocipedes, head speeds, the bicycles with the big wheel in the front and the little wheel in the back. And bicycles made out of wood, yeah. So it could definitely use updating. Please augment chapter 87 of the city code to address gas and electric powered bicycles. I would suggest treating some of the rules for human powered bicycles separately. In particular, although there was a regulation in the 1973 rule, there seems to be no need to register all human powered bicycles. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mrs. Chu.
You, Mayor and Council. I just had one quick question on the, supposed agenda item number 1, the hearing on the two-way Main Street traffic patterns. I wondered why these weren't voted on prior to July 11th, when it became two-way. That's all. It was just a question. It seemed like it would have been proactive to do that, but maybe you didn't know how traffic was gonna flow prior to that, but I think it should have been voted on way earlier. Agenda item number 2. I concur with my husband, and I'm vehemently opposed to this proposed law. I think it's a thinly veiled attempt to target unhoused members of the community and to criminalize loitering in Courthouse Park and other city parks. Loitering is defined as delayed activity with idle stops, pauses, or dawdling. And by that measure, my family and I have frequently loitered in Portland's beautiful parks. It's inconceivable to me that you would propose a law prohibiting tarrying in a park, sitting on a bench or idly strolling just to enjoy a summer breeze. If there's illegal activity observed, we have existing laws to address that. I don't think it's wise to pile on a charge of loitering simply because there's lollygagging in the park. This law is cruel, I believe, and it's a response to legitimize the ongoing administrative and law enforcement harassment of vulnerable people in Portland who have nowhere else to go. It's an initiative proposed by folks who perhaps want to shirk their obligations to address the dire housing crisis that we face. And I don't think any council member should vote for this law. Thank you.
With all due respect, I'll reserve my comment later on. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance report.
Hey, I've got a few comments that I written, I put this together last Friday, and we've had a couple of changes for the good, so I'm happy to, let you know. Just below the year-to-date summary, which I would like to point out, if we had, timely received the Q2 sales tax from the county, we would be just about even on, expenditures and revenues for the year, which is quite good. We've typically been lagging. We're starting to kind of pull it a little closer. I was very happy to see that. We expect those funds to come in here soon from the county, and we'll reevaluate for next month, but I'm pretty pleased with where we're going. The departments have been really very mindful about their expenditures, and they've been doing an excellent job. With regard to the occupancy tax, just below that, after we sent out the reminder letters, the 2 delinquent properties did remit their occupancy tax. And one other property we reached out to, as I had some questions about their calculations, they recalculated. So the total for the actual quarterly occupancy tax collection on this initial 1% was $20,875.39. So we're very pleased with how that's working, that we've been able to work with these businesses and kind of all work through the process of getting this initiated. And then this tax is what we're going to be using to do a lot of the things such as the flags that need replaced. So this will give us a little flexibility in the budget to take care of those things that do make the city a little bit more pleasant and enjoyable for everybody. So we're very happy with that. We do have a receipt and file for the reissue of the FY 2022 financial report from our auditors. That has been put online. I have just kind of summarize what those changes were as you go down through the page here. Most of it was just reallocations between funds as they were finalizing how they were happier to see that. I have both the originally issued and the reissues for both 21 and 22 tabbed and highlighted in my office. If anybody would like to sit down and go through those and have any questions on those, I'm happy to do that. We completed the 2023 AFR with the final numbers from our audit, and we have been going back and forth with the Office of the State Comptroller, and it was fully accepted and closed Monday afternoon. I'm very happy to report. They have now opened 2024 for us, so we are in the process of putting those numbers in, and we should have the 24 preliminary unaudited AFR done within hopefully about the next week. So we're moving right along on that, which rolls us right into our FY 2024 audit. We have already had the auditors on site for a week at the end of June. We are still working with them to get all the documentation that they need uploaded. They have like a portal that we all share. So that's an ongoing process, but that audit is in process. It's going well so far. We're very happy with that. We have begun shifting from credit cards over to procurement cards for the various departments. We've got those mostly distributed now. We're working with the departments on the reconciling procedures. But this particular card makes it so much easier for the departments. They can literally just snap an image of their receipt right then and there. It uploads into the software. It makes it a lot easier for us to track all of our expenses right online and see it right away if there's any concerns. And it's a lot less prone to fraud than the traditional credit cards. It'll also help us without having the late fees. Just with the time processing of credit cards, it's not practical. So this will be a little bit more efficient for that. So that we're happy with that. Our new tax software is going very well. We'll be bringing that online in September. We'll run it with the old in parallel through the end of the year. Our AS400 has reached the end of its life. It was early DOS-based 1980s version of tax software. It has worked very long and well for us. We're appreciative of that, and we need to modernize. So we are working on that. At the end, you'll see the list of the grants and capital projects that are managed by TOMA that are included in the report as well. And if you have any questions about any of those, I'm happy to answer. Also, in the online version, there is a current year-to-date expenditures and revenues that I did middle of last week. I think it was Wednesday or so when I did that. So it isn't quite the end of July, but very close there too. And again, if anybody wants a hard copy of that, I try not to kill too many trees, but I can happily print that out and answer any questions you might have. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. So, detail, appreciate it. Anybody have any questions? Then a motion to receive file. Okay. Michael Carpenter, All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then the 2022 independent financial audit documents which are in there, can I get a motion to receive and file? Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Mayor report, so, a lot of happenings, we had the Main Street, ribbon cutting and we had ice cream service on the second one, that was, anyone, thank you guys for doing that, it was a fun, and there's a lot of good compliments on doing that. Royal Park, went to a ribbon cutting up there to open a new playground, for the county park. Working on the DRI art finalist for downtown, we have some good stuff that we'll be bringing to the next meeting. To give everybody an idea where that's working, we're just working on the sustainability of the products that they're gonna be using to make sure they're gonna be sustainable. So we met with one artist so far, I have two more to meet with, and then those three arts will be unveiled at the next meeting. Within the CRT, again, another one, tomorrow night, Little Mermaid's coming up, so anybody is a Disney fan, it's gonna be a good one. We had 5 new police officers we swore in since the last one, so we have 7 in the academy that'll be full staff, first time. As far as they ever know, largest class ever going in at any time. Access to Independence had the 88 celebration at Enum Courthouse Park. Scarlet Free Library had their centennial celebration. Arts Off Main was a good success. This Thursday is a great concert, great talented concert that I think will probably make it big in the country scene this coming Thursday to the Showmobile, which will be over in the park as well. The lifeguards had a nice save at Hammond Park, and the fire department had a nice save on Fort Watson Street recently, so they had a cardiac arrest they were able to save and be able to defib and get them airlifted and get that help that they needed. They had a nice save at Hammond Park, so lifeguards, again, not common, but helps. First responders camp was a high success. We'll leave that to Deputy Chief Reynolds at the next meeting, right, Chief? Okay. And the Klondike Hunt from the police department was a great success. I don't know what the numbers were there, but we'll try to get some numbers together for that. And the comprehensive plan is due, they were holding off till Sunday, so make sure everybody gets in there, gives their opinion to that. That would be helpful. Be with the business owners tomorrow morning to talk about, maintaining Main Street and what the Wi-Fi is gonna look like. That's gonna be turning on in our parks and downtown very shortly. The infrastructure is done. I think he's coming in later this week to do some of the other things to get our dark fibers run to all our buildings. So we'll be able to have that, be able to start adding the necessary needs that we have for those areas. And the movie's been recording today. Were you on scene today, Chief, when they did the explosion and the fire? They had pushed back. Okay, so they're very,
Too many accidents. They couldn't deal with that.
there's a lot of moving parts to the movie. I was waiting to watch the set. It's pretty interesting and pretty entertaining, but it takes a lot of work to give them everything they need. And fire department, police department, thank you guys for all you do in helping make this work. It's a good lesson for us, and it's exciting to have, and but we're learning lessons as we go, and but we also recognize they don't keep up with their timelines. So we'll keep adjusting and making it work. We're excited to have them, and they're very appreciative of everybody's efforts as well. That's all I have, so we will go to Ward 1. Mr. Mayor.
Well, since our last meeting, we had first responders training camp, and I attended it at Southern Park. I'd never seen that before. It was wonderful to see how many kids were involved having a ball. Parents very interactive, took a lot of pictures, so hopefully get this more advertising next year. That was really 2 fun days. Yeah. Well, communications get better for me, more people recognize who I am and down little issues, so life's good in the world.
Perfect. So we're up to Ward 4, right? 2. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna do Miss Silman's, right? So in representation of Miss Silman, Miss Lane is going to read her
Yes,
updates.
and there's several.
Okay.
Katie reported shoes on a wire in front of 44 Clayton Ave. She heard from a friend who lives in Ward 1, who said that Councilmember Merker had been very helpful in providing a remedy for a problem that she had. She'd never had reason to contact the city about something before, and she was pleased at how easily the problem was solved. There you go. I'm hearing lots of great comments about two-way Main Street. It sure is nice driving on the smooth streets of Groton and Maine. The flags on Tompkins Street are looking faded and worn. I think they should be replaced. I agree. I was given these flyers to hand out. The Dolly Parton Reading Program. If you live in Portland and you have a child under 5 years old, that child can get a free book each month until they turn 5. That's 60 books from birth to age 5, and all you have to do is sign up. Contact the Portland Free Library or look for Dolly Parton Imagination Library online. Finally, and this is not finally, the surest way to reach me is to text or call me at 607-756-7864. Make sure you tell me who you are, because I will not answer anonymous texts. Then she'd like to thank DPW for taking down the shoes on Clayton Ave. This is a message that she had received. Hi Katie, it's Bo. As an avid cyclist, I am against outlawing bicycles and e-bikes on Main Street and Central Ave. I understand the concerns raised by gas bikes, but please don't lump reasonable cyclists in with the issues. I won't be able to attend on Tuesday, but I wanted to let you know. Bikes and e-bikes are perfectly lawful forms of transportation that should be supported by the city. We need more bike infrastructure, not more laws against them. And I believe that's it. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Now,
Now money. I did do the ice cream giveaway. Tom and I were there and several other people.
times.
Both times.
Both times.
Both times were there. And it was fun. We had little kids, and there were some people though kind of looked at us like we were saying, would you like to eat some cut glass? You know, it was weird, but it was a good time. Speeding on Tompkins Street continues. Maybe we could put that big speed indicator up by Red Dragon, and that might, it was there before and it kind of slowed people down. I did hear from a couple constituents about stray cats and kittens in the city. All of a sudden, single kittens, little tiny kittens were found all over the city, and that's unusual. You might find a litter, you know, mother cat and several kittens, but this was single kittens throughout the city. CNY SNAP and SPCA do what they can. There are literally hundreds of stray cats in the city. If there were hundreds of dogs, people would be up and out. So and I know there are places that have dealt with the stray cat problems. And I'd like to see us look into that. Many positive comments about Main Street. I'd like to thank DPW for painting the white lines on Tompkins Street. It helps alleviate the thought that it was a 4-lane highway. This way with the white lines, they know they have to move, well, they should know they have to move over. Tree on 64 Tompkins was removed. We still have 4 trees on Broadway that need to come down. And I went to the Art Off Main and it was well attended and it was a very nice event. That's it for the book.
thank you. Mr. Collins.
I also gave out ice cream and I also had a good time. Other than that, I've been out knocking on doors, introduced myself to the constituents. There was a neighbor who mentioned a street light when poles were replaced, by Lansing and Taylor. The light was taken down. She was curious as to why that was. She feels it's created a bit of a dark patch at the end of the street there. Beyond that, a lot of people have issues with the quality of housing and landlord upkeep. And beyond that, I've been meeting with some other members of the council and some of the department heads, and everyone's been very helpful, so I appreciate everyone's help while I'm getting up to speed on things.
All right, thank you. Mr. Carpenter.
I'll apply in the sixth ward.
Mr. Beckwith.
Just real quick, I did hear the boot camp. The grandkids got to go there this year. Fortunately, make it, but it's a good program. They done a great job at it. They helped me, the fire as always, but yeah, it's a good program for it. I'm all good.
Thank you. Mr. Nichols.
The ice cream event was certainly a night to remember. A lot of people stopped by for ice cream. Some were on their way to dinner, but they did stop by after dinner, so that was really a nice event that was put together.
That's all donated by Burberry, correct?
Right,
Yes.
Yes.
we even got some people who stopped on their way to the gym.
Yes.
Sure, could work it off.
The answer instructor.
Yeah.
E-bikes, witnessing, what we used to call mini bikes going down streets, e-bikes on sidewalks going 30 miles an hour. That's not something that people look as they back out of their driveway. And it's just a matter of time before something's gonna happen. And I'm certainly glad that Randall Lewis was able to put something together for us that I'm hoping is gonna really put a dent in these concerns regarding some of the complaints that people have been providing. So let's hope that that's taken care of. I'm just hoping that the fight is gonna be stiff enough so that this really takes hold. The mayor can certainly contest regarding charging these e-bikes, the power systems that are provided, and the misuse of. Ward issues were just brought up the other night from a constituent wanting to know during our walk along when some of these items are gonna be addressed and what kind of priorities involved. And I told him I have to get back. 8 wards all had items that needed to be addressed or had concerns, so it's gonna be a little bit of time before all these are taken care of, so be patient. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Excuse me, a quick point of order. I had a couple of questions on proposals 2 and 3. Should I ask those during my ward report or before we vote on
On
those?
the agenda items.
Okay, just want to mention.
Yeah, we'll move it, get on the floor, and then we can ask any questions. All right, with that, we'll move to agenda item number 1. Set August 19, 2025 as public hearing of proposal local law to update city traffic regulations to reflect two-way Main Street traffic pattern.
Resolved that pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, the public hearing on proposed local law to amend the city code, chapter 11, vehicles and traffic, shall be held on August 19, 2025 at 6 p.m. at City Hall, 25 Court Street, Cortland, New York. And that the city clerk shall publish legal notice of such hearing.
You got a motion for this? Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter. So I think one of the questions in the public comments was, why did we vote for this before? So some of the laws that were in there, like, it was never ever voted to change it from 2-way to 1-way. So that was missed. Mr. Nichols wasn't here to tell everybody before he went off to, he went away. So that was a miss, so we didn't have to retract that, but we were really considering whether or not to deal with Clayton making a left and, to determine if the other streets would make sense to do it at the same time. So we, in discussion, we decided we needed to make sure that these changes are done. We know they're gonna be effective. The other ones will allow them now, and then we'll kind of play it by ear to see where they're gonna be. So that was the intent of that, and this is the set of the hearing, public hearing for the next meeting, so there'll be an ability if have any concerns at that time for these next 4 items. at the next meeting. All right, so we'll call it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 2, set August 19, 2025, public hearing on proposed local law relating to loitering, disturbances, and public order.
Resolved that pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, a public hearing on proposed local law to establish further legal and equitable remedies relating to loitering for certain illegal purposes shall be held on August 19, 2025 at 6 p.m. at City Hall, 25 Fourth Street, Portland, New York. And that the city clerk shall publish legal notice of such hearing.
Ms. Lane? Anybody else have any thought? Mr. Carpenter? So just, want to clarify a couple things. Number one, you know, I certainly personally take offense to harassing, people as a concern. I mean, that's nothing that we're, ever to do. But people have the right to quality of life, and those are the issues that we're trying to deal with within those boundaries. And sometimes when those boundaries are stepped outside, then we need to deal with that in an appropriate manner. And to update some of these, whether it's the e-bikes or the issues that have not been updated, that's the whole point of rewriting those, is to get this section in so it's all in one section, so it's all concise. So that would be in replacing the other one when we talk about the next one. But again, you know, so tomorrow there will be I think it goes a public announcement on some solutions to the unhoused and what we need to do and by middle means. This isn't just that down, because I think probably our public urination, for example, is probably larger from college students and or other people that are downtown after hours. So by any means, it's not doing that, but it's addressing quality of life issues and issues that we have, given the enforcement abilities that we have to do with today's issues that we have that are different than they were before. So does anybody else have any questions to this?
I do have a few, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So my understanding is this is based on a law that's passed in Albany.
Yeah, that was easy. Some of it is drafted from them.
Okay.
And maybe Mr. Lewis can answer any questions if we have anything else. Yes.
Yeah, so why exactly was Albany viewed as a good model?
In looking at cities for models, I always strive to find something that I would consider to be middle of the road. I don't want to pick the most liberal city that's out there that's going to swing the pendulum too far one direction, or the most conservative city that's going to swing the pendulum too far the other direction. Albany is traditionally a pretty strong Democratic city, but it's not a hugely liberal Democratic city. I mean, as Democrats go, most people would say Albany's kind of a conservative Democrat city. So I think it's pretty middle of the road. So that's why Albany was chosen as a model. Also, excluding New York City, because that's its own world, using a bit bigger city for a model is always a better choice, because those laws are much more likely to have been tested. If the city of Salamanca passes a ordinance, it could go 10 years before anybody challenges it. Where if it's passed in Albany, it's likely to be challenged much more quickly. So because they passed it, I think it was early 2024, most of the sections have already been tried out. So that's another reason to lean towards a bigger city versus modeling off of something smaller.
And I think that makes sense. Have the challenges to the law stood up today?
To date, yes, there's been nothing that I've been able to find that anything's been overturned.
Okay. Do we have any information on the impact of the law? Have there been more arrests? Have there been complaints decreasing? Do we have any information on that?
Not really. The different sections of the law, the answer would probably apply differently to. I mean, when you look at the section that protects code enforcement officials, crossing guards, DPW workers, obviously those are gonna be more arrests because it wasn't illegal before. So that's a new section of law, so that's gonna have increased arrests. The nuisance section, which deals mainly with nuisance properties, that's really tough to track because the old laws, which were most municipalities used, were very subjective in nature. They were kind of loose criteria. This goes through and it's following a model, and it's not just Albany that's utilized this. Groton adopted it, and a number of municipalities locally have adopted a point-based system. So it actually attributes specific crimes or violations are given points to determine whether a property's nuisance or not. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. A property owner knows exactly, if you have these 6 things happen, here's the points you're gonna get assigned. Not, well, maybe you've crossed the line or maybe you haven't. So it takes the guesswork out of it.
And I follow up with that question, Chief. Did you ever get a chance to talk to the Albany chief yet?
He has not called me back.
Okay, so we did try to follow up.
Okay, I had a
Follow up
question on that, so I
you know,
appreciate that.
And we have a public hearing at the next meeting, so we'll get a report back on that,
Okay.
but we did ask him to do that a couple days ago. so-
I do, and I imagine this is a little too granular setting. I have some questions about how this proposal deviates from Albany. So I'd love to have a conversation at some point on that front.
Absolutely. And what's being put out today is the information to get the conversation started. We'll have a hearing on it. And there may be some changes made to it, because this is the first time council's had a chance to look at it. So I mean, certainly if you see something that you find a concern, bring it up. It can be tweaked, it can be amended. So, not to say that anything here is written in stone. It's a starting point for us. I mean, it's a good starting point, but it certainly could be tweaked or amended.
And like we talked about, for example, on Main Street, bikes on Main Street, I think it's getting better as far as people pulling in and backing in. As progression comes and we get more afford, everybody get more educated and use it, we can certainly bring that back and say, I think we're ready now. But we want to keep people safe, and that's the most important thing, I think, not to exhibit that.
And I appreciate that. I have concerns and I'd like to discuss them with you so we can work through some things for the next one. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Anybody else? Do that, public Chris.
Councilmember Merker.
Hi.
Councilmember Lane.
Hi.
Councilmember Conlon.
No.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
I,
Agenda item number 3, set August 19th, 2025, public hearing on proposed local law relating to operation of gas assisted e-bikes, e-scooters and other bicycles.
Resolved that pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, a public hearing on a proposed local law relating to operation of gas assisted and e-bicycles, e-scooters and other bicycles shall be held on August 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at City Hall, 25 Court Street, Portland, New York, and that the city clerk shall publish legal notice of such hearing.
Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Michaels. Again, I think some of the importance of this, as Mr. Michaels has alluded to numerous times, is the safety of all riding without helmets themselves or others and altering the bikes and then charging in commercial area. I know there's a law looking out in October that they're pushing at the state level that would ban charging in any building as well, but we're getting ahead of that because as we know, it's very dangerous. We've had a couple of situations where people barely got out because of them, so I think we're taking the proactive approach on that, for sure.
Mayor, on Dairy Parade night, Tom was down my neighborhood. I was sitting in my driveway, sweeping off my driveway, and I heard this motorcycle go by, like, it was an e-bike, 30 miles an hour, and I turned the corner, I heard him wipe out. And I called the fire department, police department, he had a severe injury, he got carted off, he didn't have a helmet on, and he's just flying down the street, and couldn't get up at all, so it's safety issue big time, so.
Yeah, keeping track of the bikes and knowing what they are, and pass them and where they're at. This is for people, stolen bikes too, it's good benefits, there's other benefits as well.
There was one ripping up Tompkins Street this morning at 5 o'clock, no lights, no nothing. It was so dust out.
Some going the wrong way on, Central Ave, so it's tough. We're seeing it all over.
I see it all the time. My concern here is the treating of e-bikes differently than regular bikes on certain streets. So I'd like to discuss that, so if we can make some movement there. I think this is something I could.
and one of the reasons we included bicycles is that individuals have gotten smart enough where they've added motors to kind of bicycle. If that's not included, then that means they're gonna be kind of exempt from the law.
And
But would that would make them, if it's an electric motor, it would make them an e-bike, and if it's a gas motor, it would make them a gas powered. I mean, I have a problem with this
Yeah,
regular.
neither one of them
bike.
should, neither one of them should be. Technically, it's the law
Right.
covers that.
But I mean, just regular Schwinn bikes without any,
Yeah, they were gone 30 years ago.
pardon me? Oh, Schwinn, wow, that's how old I am. But I mean, just bicycles.
Our police department used to register bicycles
Right.
years ago.
Right.
They used to bring the kids and,
Mhm.
I don't know, I wanna say they were issued, helmets too, weren't they?
We have a program, we do issue helmets.
Yeah.
Always got that.
For
Yeah.
under 12. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, regular bicycles.
So what's the concern? Sure.
I don't have a problem with regular bicycles without any motorization of any kind, and
Do it.
it seems being, I guess, on the roads, on Main Street, any of the streets, the motorized ones, so especially when they're on the sidewalks.
Who own a bicycle.
Right.
So unless you're under 12, they're not.
Right.
Sidewalk access. No, that's the current law, so
Yeah.
that's a change there.
Okay.
In some of the, I think, specific roads that were addressed were concerns just from the traffic patterns right away, right? Randall?
The only area that bicycles would not be allowed is temporarily on Central and Main Street between Tompkins and Clinton. Just that central area of Main Street. And that's one of the things that the mayor had said, as we see how things go, that could potentially be pulled back.
Okay, and people could go around.
Yes,
On
now,
bicycles.
on bicycles or on e-bikes,
Oh,
on e-bikes.
all right,
The
Sponsor registry.
okay,
skateboards, on the other hand, they are prohibited from being ridden on any of the gateway roads.
right,
281, Tompkins, on the road. You can still ride them other places, but just, those roads are too busy, the cars are going too fast for a skateboard. But that's the only area that they're restricted to. Otherwise, you can ride an e-bike anywhere in the city you want, except Main Street and Central, or a bike. Gas powered bikes are excluded from the city, from anywhere on city streets.
So we have city workers on Main Street, riding bike to work that we're implementing.
No, no, I don't think so. I mean, we're still gonna have bike racks and we'll eventually get to that point, but they can walk them down the sidewalk.
And they could ride across Main Street on Court. I mean, they can cross the street. It's just that little section of Main Street. And the only reason Central Avenue was added is if you ride down Central Avenue, you can't run to Main Street, you can't get off Central Avenue.
and this is just for a public hearing,
Right,
we're voting on now.
yes, just to schedule the hearing for next meeting.
And I think get the input back. I mean, this is to let people talk.
Right.
So you don't wanna necessarily inhibit them to talk and we come up with a better suggestion or ideas to this draft, which is just.
When will the vote be following here?
That next, week, after the public hearing. So we'll have the public
Next,
hearing
we'll do-
and then we'll vote immediately after.
Okay, I have some concerns that I'd like to discuss, so I can get to hopefully yes here, because there are issues here that need to be addressed.
And you highlight them and sit and talk to Randall or myself or whatever and then address those. See, because it might be the same concern everybody else has, and that's why
Right.
everybody has their input.
And I appreciate that.
And again,
Some of these e-bikes can go well over 30 miles an hour.
I've seen the issues with them, that we need to do something.
But we want to write a law that's. Excluding a good thing.
Right.
So we're gonna make sure we get it right, so that's why everybody put their mind to it, read through it, everybody else gets their input, make the best we can out of it. We're not infallible, for sure.
And whatever works for you, stop by and I'll be happy to go through any of your.
I'll set up a time,
Yeah,
Anybody else? My number is address and food. All right, thank you, move it please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
aye,
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
I,
Agenda item number 4, set August 19, 2025 public hearing on proposed local law relating to fire department cost recovery fee.
Resolved that pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, a public hearing on proposed local law relating to establishment of fire department cost recovery fees shall be held on August 19th, 2025 at 6 P M. At City Hall, 25 Fourth Street, Portland, New York, and that the city clerk shall publish legal notice of such hearing.
Any motion? Mr. Merker? Ms. Lenny? Yeah, so there's the set the fees for recovery or hazmat, try to get some of those costs back. For the continuous calling that we might have in different areas as well as hazmat stuff. Any questions? Move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith. Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 5, authorized sales tax agreement with Portland County.
Resolved that the city of Portland County Council hereby authorizes Mayor Skee upon review and approval by the Corporation Council to execute an agreement with the County of Portland, subject to the approval of the Controller of the State of New York with the following provisions. 1. Term. This agreement shall commence upon the termination of the August 9th, 2018 agreement and shall continue until December 31st, 2035, unless earlier terminated as provided in Article 3 hereof. Number 2, sales tax distribution. Commencing upon termination of the August 9, 2018 agreement between the city of Portland and the county of Portland through December 31st, 2025, sales tax shall be allocated as if said August 9, 2018 agreement remained in full force and effect. Commencing January 1st, 2026, until such time as this agreement may terminate, sales tax shall be allocated 18% to the city of Portland. And a correction here, it should be and 82% to the county of Portland. Number 3, right to terminate agreement. The county of Portland, if authorized by a 2/3 majority of its total governing board, or the city of Portland, if authorized by a majority of its total governing board, on consent of the mayor, or by 2/3 of its governing board, without consent of the mayor, may terminate this agreement after December 31st, 2029, by giving notice of not less than 1 calendar year of its intention to terminate the agreement. For purposes of this paragraph, calendar year shall be defined as January 1st through December 31st.
Mouthful. Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Beckwith. So 18% is the most we could get out of them to get this put together and try to get it as a partnership. So I know we all had talked before, we're gonna get more, but it's better now with the percentage is higher because they're not taking the 1.5
$5 million.
1.5 million off the top. We're taking 1.5 off the million top, and then we're getting the percentage. So it was dropping, so this gives us a couple of points, little 2.5 points more than we were at before, so I think it's probably as good as we can get, and and kind of go from there. Do we have any questions?
Do we have to do the date that long? It's hard enough to go negotiate this time. Just throw it out there, I don't know. Seems like-
Well, it is callable after 4 years. The 4th year it is callable, so it is available to be able to do that. If, if we decide that we think we can do better, we can work on that at that time.
And it'll say 18%.
So it's not a step
No increase?
program. Stays at 18%.
No push it.
Right.
I know, I just,
It was tough. Some,
I can't recall where the 10 years came from. Lots of said on the council. Who came up with the 10-year?
I mean, it makes sense to do it longer because if I could tell you that it has a cost friction between us, then I can tell you that for sure. And it's difficult. I mean, you get the town, all the towns and everybody gets upset. Towns and villages outside get all upset because their proportionate changes and, I think it's better to try to keep that synergy going where it is. And there's not many cities left that haven't, one of them that haven't collected their own, but right now, I just think it's in our best interest in the timeline that we would have and what we have. This method. Anything else? And move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 6, reappoint Brian Fitz as city assessor.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council does hereby reappoint Brian Fitz as assessor for the city of Cortland for a term beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2031.
Motion, Ms. Lane. Mr. Beckwith. So Mr. Fitz done a great job, did all the revals, we survived that. I think it's all been going well, so. Appreciate his support, but it's important. Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith. Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 7, authorize city participation in AFFF and PFAS litigation.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council hereby authorizes Mayor Steve to enter into an agreement with the law office of Robert King, PLLC, and Stagg Louis. Another name, LLC, to participate in the Aqueous Film Forming Foam, AFFF, PFAS litigation.
Can I get a motion? Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Beckwith, so again, you know, PFAS is a strong word nowadays, and we certainly, we test for our PFAS in our area to make sure that we're not above those limits. This is, really a no-cost way to get a better test and this more detailed tests, to where areas where they think that might be. If there is PFAS, that'll give us the ability to get the funding to fix it. And if it's above a certain level, Mr. Lewis, I remember Lewis percentage, 4%, was it? I can't remember the percentage.
The EPA cutoff is currently four parts per trillion, I believe it is. Which we've always gone undetected. The testing they will do will go right down to 0 parts per trillion. And if we test even between 0 and 4, which would be EPA safe, we could potentially participate in the settlement. If we were above 4, then we would get substantially more monies to remedy the problem, so. And it closes December 31st, so it's important we do it now, because otherwise, if we found out after the fact, there'd be no settlement money available.
There's quite a pot of money there, so the less people there are. So again, not to start a panic, fortunately, we don't have any PFAS generation, although there's probably some that's brought in from plastics or whatever, it's in your drinking water even, your bottled water, I guess I should say. So, I think it's a great avenue to be able to get that cost to us, and then if we do get a settlement, to pay a portion back. Anybody have any questions? Ed, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 8, approve special events permit for St. Mary's School Color Run, September 27th, 2025 at Union Park.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council hereby approves permits as described below for the St. Mary's School Alumni Color Run, September 27th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to noon at Yeaman Park, with a special event permit and a sound device permit without fee. Be it further resolved that the city clerk shall issue said permits conditioned on fulfillment of applicable state and local code requirements.
Any motion?
Just out of curiosity, my nephews go to St. Mary's, do I have to recuse on this?
No. You can make the
I
motion.
can motion, I'd like to do that.
Perfect. The Carpenter, yeah, so, yeah, absolutely. If you don't receive funding, you're good.
My nephews, it's a one-way street and I'm going to them.
Right.
Good answer.
Right. So you not only approve the event, you should go and they push into the pedal work.
I'll make sure my sister brings them.
That's right, there you go. It's good stuff. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Sorry, move it please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 9, amend resolution number 44 of 2025 related to glass recycling.
Resolved that the city of Portland County Council hereby amends the fourth bullet of the fifth whereas paragraph to read as follows. Recycling of glass. Glass must be recycled in one of the following manners. One, participation in the city's curbside collection program by requesting a bin from the city, which shall be delivered by the city free of charge. Or two, take recyclable glass to the county recycling center themselves.
Motion. Beckwith, Mr. Michaels. Again, so, the DEC came in and, because we were charging for the bins, that was decided that that was an appropriate way to keep it the same as our other recycling, so. The bins will be distributed without cost, that's really the big difference that's there, so anybody who wants to do it can go to trash@cortland.org with an email and we'll deliver it, or call the DPW and we'll be glad to, make sure it gets.
Just to emphasize, media picks up on it, that you have to call and ask for a bin, they're not gonna get dropped off like their totes, trash totes, you have to call and get one, ask for one.
And it's just for glass.
Just for fun.
Glass.
When will glass be?
And that'll be every third Friday of every month will be pick up that class. Thanks for bringing that up.
And Pat, your case, you might wanna get 2 bins.
Okay, so,
Yeah. No free previous, but.
all right, any other questions? Okay, thanks, everybody.
Just make this very expensive.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 10, authorized sale of surplus fire department hoses.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council designates the following equipment currently in possession and used by the fire department as surplus and authorizes the fire chief to advertise such equipment in an appropriate manner as surplus available for sale. And the inventory numbers of those hoses got dropped out. But I do have that information for anybody who wants it. Be further resolved that the common council authorizes any revenue generated from the sale of this surplus equipment to be appropriated to the fire department budget line for sale of equipment. And upon further approval, transfer such funds to fire department operational line for tools and equipment for future year use by the fire department.
We have a motion. Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter. Anybody have any questions? I think it's self-explanatory. And move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 11, accept and recognize $1,692.50 from the Cortland Elks Lodge number 748 for fire department.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council, on behalf of the mayor and fire department, expresses gratitude for the generous donation of $1,692.50 from the Cortland Elks Lodge number 748 for purchase of equipment by the fire department. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby accepts the donation and appropriates the funds to fire department revenue line under unclassified revenue. And upon further approval, transfer such funds to the fire department operational line for special operations.
I get a motion. Mr. Collins, Ms. Lane. I understand this is a pass-through for AEDs, so they're gonna purchase AEDs that are compatible, so they're the same, have the same response, the same as what we have. So it's a better way to get them AEDs at a reasonable price that we have, so. It's a pass-through donation, so, but it's good they're updating, so that's all. Sure. Move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 12, authorized donation of surplus 2017 Chevy Tahoe police pursuit vehicle to the Cortland County SPCA for their use as city dog control duties.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council, resolved by the city of Portland County Council as follows. The 2017 Chevrolet Tahoe Police Pursuit Package equipped with dog control equipment currently owned by the city of Portland Police Department and declared surplus is hereby authorized to be donated to the Cortland County SPCA. 2, The common council finds that such donation serves a valid public purpose by supporting the public safety mission of a community animal control organization and ensuring continued use of the vehicle in service to the public. And three, Mayor Steve, the police chief, and other designated city officials are hereby authorized to take actions necessary to effectuate the transfer of ownership and physical delivery of the vehicle to the Cortland County SPCA.
Make a motion, Ms. Lang. Mr. Carpenter. Any questions?
Thank you for doing it.
I think it's good for both organizations. Anybody else? Move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Agenda item number 13, accept and recognize donations to the youth.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council, on behalf of the mayor and youth bureau, expresses its gratitude to the donors below for their generosity. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby accepts the donations to be appropriated to the accounts and for the purposes below. Donation from Tim Walsh in the amount of $500, appropriated to the Walsh Trust Fund for general purposes. And a donation from Victoria Ramiza and Christine Gregory in the amount of $100 to account number 7010427005 for the drama program.
Make a motion. Mr. Collin. Mr. Carpenter. Any questions on this? All right, thanks again for the donations. Those are mixed, or programs go well. Move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 14, seeker determination relating to the community center project.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council does hereby classify action as part of the New York State BRICS grant application action as an unlisted action pursuant to New York State Codes, Rules and Regulations, Title VI, chapter, section 617, and designates the planning commission of the city of Portland as lead agency.
Make a motion. Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Michaels. Again, I think there's a nice rendering for this construction, the seeker for that. For the community center, and that's the last resolution we'll talk about at the end, but there's a nice drawing and rendering of what that would look like in that area. In the backside, and again, keeping in mind the factories that were there at the time and some of the structural design there, so. If our BRICS grant goes the way we would like it to, we be a great asset to our community. You're in dire needs of it. You all received a letter, I believe, from the county. And there'll be another informational part, the piece that explains to that. But it looks like the county has terminated our use of the gym by the end of the year. So we need to have more gym space, and this would be a great solution for indoor pickleball gyms and all the like that we've seen great successes in walking track above. So we're excited to have this, and I think this is the first of many steps that we would be towards getting that done. Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 15, modify the 2025 adopted budget by $13,801.01 to reflect revenue and expenditure account adjustments.
Resolved that the city of Portland County Council does hereby amend the 2025 city budget in the amount of $13,801.01 as outlined in the accompanying table.
Make a motion. Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter, any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon. Aye. Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 16, amend resolution number 114 of 2025 to authorize application for New York BRICS funding to assist with the construction of a new community recreation center.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council authorizes Mayor Steve to submit an application on the city's behalf for up to $15 million of funding through the New York BRICS program to assist with construction of a new community recreation center. And be it further resolved that the common council commits to providing short-term construction financing in the amount of $22,240,611 through a ban or similar bridge financing, of which $7,240,611 would convert to long-term financing at project completion. The balance of $15 million is to be reimbursed to the city through the New York Bricks Grant Program.
Make a motion. Mr. Carpenter. Second. Okay, Mr. Merker, who said that? Merker, yeah. So just a couple clarifications, so that, this New York Bricks grant is a different type of grant. They wanted us to go for, explain exactly the details, the level of detail, make sure the resolution read it. So even though we had done that resolution, that was the amended one, the amendment that they required to apply for this grant. I know Mr. Chu's in the audience, I know he had approached me at one point about doing a New York Swims possibility. With this location, with the proximity to the high school, there could be other abilities to be able to have the expansion of having that pool area in that as well. So there's a lot of program looking for senior center, senior programming, youth center would be more accessible. It's in an area of property that's couldn't be used otherwise at some of the other spots, so this could be a great application for what we need to do in that to revitalize south side of this. Any questions? Hey, Mr. Jewett.
Councilmember Merker.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon. Aye. Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Okay, thank you for that. It's gonna be good. Anybody have any other questions or anything you want to add?
Mayor Steve, good to say it. Got to say something, August 17th, Porch Fest. If you have not been to Porch Fest, you're missing out. So the best community relations you'll ever have. It's people the way you always want to be. It is such a great time. My wife and family look forward to this every year. If you have not attended, please do so. You're gonna be surprised.
It should be exciting. We should have the showmobile there.
Yes,
Run it up, so it's gonna
the
be great.
streets are cleaned up. You can, we're
Taking pictures as you.
some.
I'm not gonna let it go, Dan.
No,
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
if I might say something that I thought might get added during the meeting, I'm sorry. I attended a funeral today for Warren Eddy. Warren Eddy, who was here for over 60 years, he was head of the library for 40 years. It's a very, very nice service. One of the questions that was asked was, how long was he a member of Rotary? Forever. I didn't have a date or when he was there. Warren served his community and he's one of the pillars of the community. I just thought maybe somebody might add that tonight. I think you ought to take a moment of silence in memory of Warren Eddy, who was here. Great things were said about him today. His family talked about him. He was a fan of the St. Louis Cardinals. There was a lot of other stuff that he did. A couple of things that he broke the law, but it was kind of overseen because of what he did. Quick story was William Street. It was officially William Street. One of his sons and him went over there with a ladder and they covered up the S on William Street to make it official. Couple of things that he did. He was a stern, believed in everything that he did, but he did a couple of things that were kind of beyond the scene. I just think it would be nice to moment of silence for somebody who was in this community forever and was well respected.
I appreciate that. Thanks for bringing that up. If I could ask everybody, I mean, he was a community leader as we go through our communities and we're seeing some of the changes, even with Suco today and changing some of the people that we've had that are leaders that really give to the community, that are involved with the community. Those people we need to recognize when they're missed and, recognize us for what we have done too. So we can take a moment of silence for.
That was, one thing I did fail to mention, he was a good neighbor, whenever we spoke. You know, he made, a comment, talk about politics tonight or something else. You know, he's, for a person of, resources, he has an excellent mind. And he can, remind you and, bring up events that, many of us have gotten in the past.
Well read, for sure.
Yes, he was.
All right, moment,
Yes.
moment of silence. Thank you, bless his family and what they're going through right now. Thank you. Thank you for everybody for that. Okay, with that, I'll set the motion to adjourn. Back with Mr. Collin, all those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. So.
Do you have something to add?
Yeah.